what is it, May 13th? I don't know. I can't see the date on here. What's the date? May 13th, Wednesday, 2026. Why did it go blurry? I don't know. Oh, there we go. There's Flashy Poo. And I think that was Bobcat Barker that you just saw. Okay, so I'm doing my. There he is. Being silly. I'm doing my. I put the windows back in because it got cold last night. I'm doing my part three of Sojourner Truth research, and I'm pretty much just using this one source because it's a very good source. All my other sources that I looked at were not as well researched. And when I say well researched, I don't just mean, oh, my shirt's inside out. I don't just mean that they, here's my broody hens, that they included a lot of stuff, information in there. I'm talking about she has 3 chicks under her. I'm talking that they actually tried to find out truth from fiction. My, the source I'm using right now, so it's called like Sojourner Truth, Slave Prophet Legend, something like that. It actually doesn't take anything for granted as truth. It actually researched the writers, researched letters and newspaper articles, magazine items, um, everything written that they could find, whether it be at the time of Sojourner's life or it around her life, or if it was way far after. I mean, I saw a reference from like 1940 where it was talking about in some journal somebody had said something that seemed to be factually incorrect from this author's research. Um, so I highly recommend, if you are doing a podcast, make sure that you're not reinforcing falsehoods. You know, you're not just taking, I read this in a book. For example, the first bio I did was on Harriet Tubman, and I went from mostly the scholastic series called In Their Own Words. And I don't know, I did use other sources. Online didn't have very reliable sources. There seems to be a lot of inaccuracies there, mostly just hype, overblown stories. But now I'm wondering how true that was, because the series I started with for Sojourner Truth was the In Own Words series by a different author, though. And there were what appears to be falsehoods in that book. And I don't think the falsehoods were deliberate. I think they just read a couple things and said, I'm going to make something real true, without fact checking anything. So make sure when you're doing these biographies, and I notice most people, that's what they do. They'll read a book and they'll say, you know what, I'm going to make a short biography of this on YouTube just so I can maybe get some views, get some money, whatever. And I'm not monetized yet. So I don't plan on staying on YouTube. I do plan on going elsewhere. It's just funding to pay for these for-profit sites. There's George Clooney scaring my chickens. I just can't afford right now, as I have other costs in life. So Anyways, I'm still getting to this. The reading is slow go because what I'm reading, this slave, Sojourner Truth, slave prophet legend, is so fact heavy. It's hard to read. I read a little bit and then I have to put it down for a little bit because it's just so laden. It's a great book if you're looking for a fact, but it doesn't follow a story so much as you would see in like biographical fiction or some other sorts of well, not necessarily biographies. I guess you wouldn't call it a biography if it was story like. So, anyways, I hope y'all listen into my. It's on Feral Woman. I'm going to be privatizing my earlier um, podcast on that. So I'm going to privatize everything before my recent changing of the guard from me and my co-host to just me. So you might want to hurry up and listen to them. They just don't jive with what I got going on now, so I just don't. I think we'll just confuse people and maybe actually even turn people off if this is not, biographies are not what they're looking for. And I hope you tune in. I'm going to be doing biographies and local business owners, small home-based business owners or brick and mortar independent business owners. So, and if you want to be part of the podcast, let me know. Even if you're not local, if you are an independent business owner, home, crochet or eBay seller, whatever, small engine repair, I'll interview you even if you're not local. That'll be good. Okay, you all have a good day.